Majora's Mask's moon is among the most iconic imagery in the Zelda series, and gaming as a whole. For the entirety of Link's quest through Termina, the moon looms in the sky above you, edging ever closer. Every second that passes brings the world closer to annihilation. A celestial body hurtling towards the planet's surface is terrifying enough, but this is magnified by the fact that it seems to be aware of what it's doing. Termina's moon apparently has a face. Twisted into a nightmarish grimace, its eyes lit like flames. The moon is used by Majora as its primary weapon. Ripping it from the sky and destroying Termina seems to be the mask's only goal, complete and utter destruction. This fate is only avoided by Link freeing the four giants, who use their immense strength to catch the moon seconds before it collides with Clocktown. After a final showdown with Majora inside the moon itself, Termina is saved. The moon disintegrates, and the Carnival of Time takes place.
The fact that the moon is destroyed after Majora's defeat leads many people to believe that this isn't Termina's real moon. Besides, the moon is far smaller than you'd expect, and the game's final few areas are more like a fever dream than what you'd expect the inside of a moon to be.
So, perhaps this moon was just a creation of Majora. Instead of pulling Termina's moon out of orbit and bringing it crashing down, why couldn't a being as powerful and dangerous as Majora simply conjure an illusory weapon designed to terrify the people? Supporting this idea is the fact that the moon has a, well, giant evil face, complete with the same burning yellow eyes as Majora's Mask itself. This, obviously, isn't consistent with the moon in any other Zelda game. After the giants catch the moon, we see Majora possess it. Its eyes light up and it speaks. So it would make sense for the moon's face to be a result of Majora's influence, either because it was created by the demon or as a side effect of being pulled towards Clocktown. However, this doesn't seem to be the case. The people of Termina all recognize and refer to the moon as the moon, which they wouldn't if it had been created by Majora. There's no other moon visible in the sky, which means if Majora's moon wasn't the real moon, the people of Termina wouldn't even know what a moon is. Majora didn't create a weapon, it really did tear the moon out of orbit.
So, what about the moon's face? Did Majora create that?
The jugglers in the Gorman troupe mention that the carnival happens once in a blue moon, or in this case, a really scary red-eyed moon, suggesting that it didn't always look this way. And the moon's tears, which are extremely valuable lunar rocks so-called because they appear to fall from the moon's eyes, seem to have only begun to fall relatively recently, again supporting the idea that the moon's face is new. Except, there's one detail that completely changes this. In East Clocktown, we find the mayor's office, and the mayor himself, Dutor. With the moon careening towards his town, the mayor is obviously in a tough position. Evacuate the settlement and save his people, or give in to the pressures to go ahead with the carnival as planned. The mayor sits at his desk on a strange two-legged chair, decorated with a round, stone, smiling face. The moon. This symbol seems to be the sigil of the mayor's office. It's also seen above the door outside. It's never referred to by any dialogue, never acknowledged by any character, but it does bear an uncanny resemblance to the moon.
With one notable exception, the moon is smiling, and its eyes are a neutral yellow as opposed to the actual moon's terrifying expression and burning red eyes. We can assume that the mayor's office and chair predate Majora's invasion and the moon falling, so this gives us strong evidence to the idea that the moon always had a face, but wasn't always so, nightmarish?
Shikashi, the astronomer at the Astral Observatory, mentions that he's been enamored with the moon ever since he was a child. According to him, the moon has long been considered a mystical body, and it was worshipped and feared, a cosmic influence that affects their daily lives. He mentions that recently there's been something strange about the moon, that it's being pulled down to Earth, but he doesn't seem to notice anything strange about the fact that the moon has a face.
Real-world cultures have worshipped and feared the moon for as long as there have been people to look up at it. Either it's owned by a god, ruled by a god, or it's a god itself. And in the case of Termina, it seems that the moon has always had a face. It requires no faith at all to personify. A religious symbol that has been historically worshipped and feared throughout Termina is a fitting symbol for the seat of power in Clocktown, invoking fear and awe.
The primary gods in Termina appear to be the four giants. The Carnival of Time itself is partially to honour these guardian deities, as the residents of Clocktown wear masks resembling them. But the festival is also closely connected to the moon itself. It takes place when the moon is aligned with the sun.
So the moon likely always had a face and was worshipped as a deity by the people of Termina. If the moon is really some sort of guardian deity, possessed and controlled by Majora, is it sentient? Is it aware of its fate and what it's being made to do?
Symbolically, this is what the moon's tears seem to suggest. They're obviously not actual tears, they're shards of bright lunar stone, but they fall from the moon's eyes. It's unclear if these have always been known to fall from the moon, or if it's only recently. A business scrub knows about the tears and how they're famously the shiniest stones in all the land, but Shikashi suggests that they've only been falling recently. Regardless, the moon symbolically crying as it gets ever closer to Clocktown depicts it not as the force of evil that its face would suggest, but as an unwilling pawn in Majora's plan. As I've mentioned, the moon's burning eyes and maddened expression are probably because it's under Majora's control, but the tears seem to be a deliberate subversion of this terrifying appearance. As this ancient celestial body, one worshipped and feared by the Terminians, falls from the sky, it cries. It is helpless, completely controlled by Majora and forced to do its bidding. Majora's Mask's moon could be a deity in the same vein as other guardian deities in the series, like the Great Deku Tree, another structure which shouldn't have a face but does. Deities like the Deku Tree are often possessed or controlled and used against their own innocent people, like Valu in The Wind Waker, who was tortured by Goma into a blind rage, Levias in Skyward Sword, who was infected by a parasite, or Nadra in Breath of the Wild, controlled by malice, among others. It's difficult to tell exactly what Majora's Mask's moon is, and what it means to the people of Termina. But then again, it's difficult to tell anything about this game. It's so beautifully weird and cryptic. Regardless of whether Termina really is a parallel dimension, a dream, or a sort of purgatory, the evidence we're presented with seems to suggest that the moon did exist before the Skull Kid and Majora, where it was worshipped and feared, and that it has always had a face. It makes Majora's attack even more terrifying, knowing that its primary weapon is not just sentient, but a being that's revered as a deity by the people it's thrown at. Majora didn't just pull the moon from the sky, it forced a god to turn on its people. Thanks for watching this video, and a huge thanks to Dr. Wily for joining me on this one. If you're interested in more talk about celestial bodies in Zelda, hop on over to his channel where we'll look at the ancient Sheikah's strange constellation patterns in Breath of the Wild. If you like this video, leave a like or subscribe if you haven't already for more Zelda content. Cheers guys, and I'll see you next time.